everyone, and welcome to the June edition of our monthly leadership podcast on Leading His Leaders. I am your host, Avery Nesbitt. So this month, I'm pretty excited. We're going to be talking about change. And there's a quote that says, "The only thing that is constant is change." And it was said by this guy. I believe his name is Heraclitus. And is that how you say that?
Heraclitus.
All right, well, sounds a lot like Hercules, so I'm going to call him Hercules.
Oh, Hercules.
The only thing that is constant is change. And how do you, as a person who has influence with others, how do you as a leader, how do you effectively lead through change? Whether you're talking about on your job, on your teams, or just with your families, how do you lead through change? And some of us are better at it than others, but overall, people are hardwired to do the same thing day in and day out. That's why there's multi-million-dollar businesses set up to help you to break old habits and develop new ones. And so we're going to jump right in the middle of all that and just answer the question once and for all: how do you effectively lead through change? The best way to be an effective leader, to effectively lead in your organization, on your team, in your families, through seasons of change, is to remain both steadfast and constant. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So listen, it really is that simple. You have to remain steadfast and constant through times of change. But how do you do that? When things are changing around you, how do you remain constant? When a ship is in the middle of a storm, the only thing that keeps it from sinking is there is one constant and steadfast anchor holding it down. And you as the leader, you as the person with influence, have to be that anchor. So how do you do that? How do you anchor a situation during times of change? Well, there's two components to it. One, you have to double down. You have to focus in on what you know and what you can control, and communicate those as often and as clearly as you can. What you know and what you can control. So let's look at the first one real quick. During times of change, what do you know? It may seem like you don't know anything. Everything's changing, everything's moving so fast. I don't know anything. Well, there are some things that you know. Number one, you know that we're all in this together. If you trust your leadership, then it's your responsibility to communicate that trust down to everyone that you have influence with, to let them know that we are all in this together. Every decision, every action, everything that's decided is meant not to just benefit anyone, but to benefit everyone. That we are truly in this so that we all can get through this progress, this change together, and be better for it. What else do you know? You know that this isn't your first rodeo. In the midst of change, we can forget that we've already survived other changes. And a leader can look to the future and cast vision, but you know what they can also do? They can also pull from the past and allow it to give some clarity to the future. This isn't your first rodeo. If you survived the last change, you'll probably survive this one. What's maybe one more? What's something that you know? You know that your core values and convictions are not going to change. Find your why and focus in on it. And when you focus in on it, communicate it as often and as clearly as you can. When people know their why, they can withstand almost any what, almost anyhow. So those are the things that you know. Double down on those, focus in on those, and it'll help you be a steadfast, constant leader. The second part is this: focus in on what you can control. Now, control can be an illusion. In the midst of change, the last thing we feel is in control. But there are a few things that you have 100% control over. Number one, you have 100% control over your words. What you say can often bring life or can bring harm to the change that's going through the organization, the change going through your team, the change that may be going through your family. The Bible says that there is power, the power of life and death are in the tongue. And are your words contributing to the health, or are they contributing to the unhealth as people approach and work through the change? The second thing that you have complete control over are your actions. What you do is often the make or break to determine whether you support or don't support the change, the progress that's in front of you. We think it's a lot about what we do. A lot of times our inaction reveals the true nature of our heart. You can help or hinder the progress that's in front of you. And the last one is this: you can control your attitude. Human beings have this amazing ability to be self-deceived. We have the ability to say the right things, to do the right things for all the wrong reasons. And when you focus in on your heart, your character, do you truly support the change that's in front of you from the inside out, or are you just giving it lip service? Because here's what we know to be true: people can smell a fake. And when you're faking it, when you're not really committed to the vision on the inside, it begins to erode the trust on your teams. It begins to erode the trust of those that you have influence with. So if you're looking to remain constant, to remain a leader that can deal with change, focus on what you know. Focus on what you can control. And even in the midst of uncertainty, you can be the leader that brings clarity, that brings vision, and that brings direction. Well, that's it, everyone. God bless. Thanks for joining us today. Remember to join us on leadinghisleaders.com for some additional content to these videos. Share these with someone who needs to know how to get through change and how to get through it like a boss. That's it, everybody. Hopefully something we've said today helps you as you're leading his leaders.